Scientists in Tokyo recently discovered something astonishing. Seniors who added just a spoonful of the right natural oil to their routine showed smoother skin, fewer wrinkles, and even stronger moisture barriers in just weeks. And no, it's not some overpriced cream or a new pill. It's an oil you can find in most kitchens, but almost nobody uses it the right way. I'm Dr. Howard Tucker, a longevity doctor who has spent decades studying how the body ages. And today, I'm joined by a man who has lived over a century while treating patients, teaching students, and still walking the talk of healthy aging. He's a physician, a teacher, and a true inspiration. Welcome, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you, Dr. Tucker. It's always an honor. And you're right. The secret to youthful skin isn't found in the beauty aisle. It's been sitting quietly on our tables for generations.
That's what excites me. People spend thousands chasing wrinkle creams, serums, and injections. But you're saying the real solution might be something natural, affordable, and backed by science?
Exactly. One oil, when used properly, doesn't just sit on the surface. It nourishes the skin from the inside out. It protects the collagen that gives skin its firmness. And it reduces the inflammation that makes lines deepen and skin sag.
I think every listener just leaned in, because this isn't about vanity, it's about confidence, dignity, and feeling like yourself at any age.
Yes, and science now confirms what traditional medicine hinted at for centuries. This oil helps cells regenerate. It slows the breakdown of elastin, and unlike creams, it strengthens from within, meaning the glow you see is a reflection of real cellular repair.
So let's not keep our audience waiting. You've hinted at this oil that works beneath the surface, that protects and restores skin. What is it, doctor?
It's extra virgin olive oil. For centuries, it has been used in Mediterranean cultures not only as food, but as medicine. And now, science has caught up. The antioxidants and fatty acids in olive oil don't just keep the heart strong. They actively defend the skin against aging.
Olive oil? That's remarkable, because most people think of it only for cooking. They don't think of it as a wrinkle-fighting remedy.
Exactly. Most people see olive oil as something to drizzle on a salad or cook vegetables. But studies published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry show that seniors who consumed olive oil daily had fewer visible signs of skin aging compared to those who relied on butter or processed oils. The compounds in olive oil, polyphenols, vitamin E, and oleic acid, shield the skin from oxidative stress, the silent process that causes wrinkles to deepen.
That makes so much sense. When the body's cells are attacked by oxidative stress, the skin becomes thinner, weaker, and loses its bounce. But if olive oil can defend against that, we're talking about true prevention, not just covering up lines with cream.
Precisely. Olive oil doesn't mask. It rebuilds. Think of collagen as the scaffolding of the skin. Over time, that scaffolding weakens, and that's when you see sagging or fine lines. The antioxidants in olive oil strengthen this scaffolding from within. They fight off free radicals that break down collagen. At the same time, olive oil locks in moisture, keeping the skin supple.
So it's hydration, protection, and repair all in one?
Yes. And here's another layer. Olive oil also reduces chronic inflammation in the body. Many seniors don't realize that the redness, puffiness, or dullness they see in the mirror often starts with inflammation inside. By calming this, the skin looks clearer, smoother, more vibrant.
That's extraordinary. And it's affordable. It's not a $200 serum. It's something you can find in every grocery store. But I imagine the quality of olive oil matters here?
It does. Extra virgin olive oil, the first cold press, is the form richest in antioxidants. Processed versions lose much of the healing power. And it should be used both ways, consumed daily in the diet, and, if someone wishes, lightly massaged onto the skin. This dual approach nourishes both inside and out.
You know, I'm smiling because I grew up hearing about grandmothers in Europe who swore by olive oil for their skin, and now science is finally proving them right.
Tradition often carries wisdom. In Mediterranean countries, seniors who use olive oil consistently not only live longer, but show younger-looking skin. One large European cohort study found that women who consumed higher levels of olive oil had over 30 nitums less photoaging, the damage caused by sunlight, than those who didn't. That's a powerful statistic.
30% less visible damage just from choosing olive oil. That's like turning back the clock naturally.
And the beauty is that it doesn't require major changes. Replace butter with olive oil. Drizzle it over vegetables. Use it in soups or dips. Every drop is nourishing your skin and your cells.
I love that. It's a habit, not a hardship. And for seniors listening right now, this means your skin is not doomed to decline with age. With the right nourishment, it can remain vibrant.
Exactly. Wrinkles are not just destiny. They are signals of oxidative stress, dehydration, and collagen loss. Olive oil addresses each of these, giving the skin a fighting chance.
So what you're saying is the fountain of youth isn't hidden in some secret lab. It's already in the kitchen, sitting quietly on the counter, waiting to be used properly.
That's right. And when you begin using it with intention, the results appear not only on the skin, but in energy, mobility, and overall vitality.
So now that we know the oil is extra virgin olive oil, the question becomes, how should seniors actually use it? Is it as simple as adding a spoonful each day, or is there a smarter way?
A spoonful is a wonderful start, but the key is consistency and pairing. Olive oil works best when it is part of a daily rhythm, not a once-in-a-while treat. In studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, people who used olive oil as their main fat source had significantly fewer wrinkles than those who relied on butter or margarine. So it's about making it your everyday choice.
That's fascinating. So swapping oils makes a real difference. But I imagine many people make mistakes with olive oil. What's the biggest one?
Heat. Olive oil is delicate. When overheated, many of its antioxidants and polyphenols are destroyed. Seniors often cook with it at very high temperatures, which removes much of the benefit. The best way is to use it raw. Drizzle it over vegetables, salads, or soups after cooking. Even dipping bread in fresh olive oil preserves its wrinkle-fighting power.
So the idea is not to fry with it at high heat, but to use it fresh, where the healing compounds remain intact.
Exactly. And another mistake is treating olive oil like just another fat. It is not. It is a functional food. For example, when paired with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes, bell peppers, or citrus, olive oil helps the body absorb fat-soluble antioxidants. This synergy protects collagen even more effectively.
That makes me think of the classic Mediterranean diet. Tomatoes with olive oil, salads with lemon and oil, fish drizzled with oil. Those combinations weren't just tasty, they were strategic.
Very strategic. A study in dermatoendocrinology showed that people following a Mediterranean-style diet had stronger skin elasticity and less sagging as they aged, and olive oil was the cornerstone of that diet.
That's remarkable. So seniors don't need exotic creams or painful treatments. They need a plate of tomatoes drizzled with olive oil and maybe a squeeze of lemon.
Simple, natural, and powerful. And when you combine olive oil with foods like leafy greens, nuts, or even fish, the benefits extend beyond the skin to heart, brain, and joint health. The body is one system. When it thrives inside, the skin reflects it outside.
I love that. But let's address a question I know our listeners are wondering. Can olive oil also be applied directly to the skin?
Yes, it can. Lightly massaging a few drops into dry areas, especially at night, helps lock in moisture. Olive oil's vitamin E penetrates the outer layer of skin, strengthening the barrier that keeps hydration inside. Many seniors find that regular topical use reduces dryness, flakiness, and fine lines.
So it's both an internal and external ally. That's rare.
Very rare. Most creams only act on the surface, while olive oil works on both levels. Inside the cells through diet, and outside the skin through direct application. That's why the results are more sustainable.
What about seniors with sensitive skin? Any precautions?
Always start with a small patch test. Most people tolerate olive oil very well, but if the skin feels greasy or clogged, they can blend it with aloe vera or apply less. And never forget, quality matters. Only cold-pressed extra virgin oil delivers the highest concentration of polyphenols.
That's a critical point, because when seniors walk into a store, they see dozens of bottles. Not all are created equal.
Correct. Look for dark glass bottles labeled extra virgin, ideally from a trusted source. Avoid oils that are blended or refined. Those lack the compounds that fight wrinkles and nourish skin.
I can already imagine seniors listening right now, ready to replace their cooking oil, ready to drizzle olive oil on their dinner tonight. And the beauty is, it's simple, delicious, and deeply healing.
That's the key. Healing should not be complicated. When you enjoy the taste, you repeat the habit. And when you repeat it, the results appear. Not just in smoother skin, but in brighter eyes, more energy, and confidence.
You've already given us a glimpse, but I want to dig deeper. You said olive oil doesn't work alone. It thrives when paired with the right foods. So, what are the best partners for olive oil if the goal is to protect skin and fight wrinkles?
The first partner is tomatoes. When olive oil and tomatoes are eaten together, the body absorbs lycopene, the red pigment in tomatoes, far more efficiently. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that protects collagen from sunlight damage. In fact, a study in the British Journal of Dermatology showed that people who ate tomatoes with olive oil had 33% more protection against UV damage than those who didn't.
That's extraordinary. So instead of buying expensive sunscreen lotions, you can start protecting your skin from the inside with a simple tomato and olive oil salad.
Exactly. And it's not just about appearance. It's about real protection at the cellular level. Lycopene, combined with olive oil, strengthens the skin's resilience to environmental stress. That's why Mediterranean dishes like caprese salad or roasted tomatoes drizzled with olive oil aren't just delicious, they're medicinal.
And I imagine vitamin C-rich foods would also pair beautifully with olive oil.
Yes, citrus fruits, bell peppers, and even strawberries. Vitamin C is essential for collagen synthesis. But here's the catch. Vitamin C alone isn't enough. The body needs healthy fats like olive oil to transport antioxidants into the skin's deeper layers. Together, they create a powerful synergy. Vitamin C builds collagen, while olive oil protects it.
That's such an important point. Many seniors pop vitamin C tablets thinking it's enough. But without the fat, much of the benefit may never reach the skin.
Precisely. Nature designed foods to work in harmony, not isolation. When you squeeze lemon over a salad dressed with olive oil, you're unlocking that harmony.
Incredible. What about nuts? I've often heard they are rich in skin-friendly nutrients.
Almonds, walnuts, and pistachios are excellent partners. They contain vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids, which work with olive oil's antioxidants to reduce skin inflammation and dryness. A study from the Journal of Nutrition found that women who consumed almonds daily saw a 16% reduction in wrinkle severity over just 4 months. Imagine pairing that with olive oil. The effects multiply.
So a handful of almonds with a drizzle of olive oil could actually soften lines and hydrate skin naturally.
Yes, and it's enjoyable, not restrictive. Snack on roasted almonds tossed lightly in olive oil, or add walnuts and olive oil to a spinach salad. These are small, tasty steps with powerful results.
Speaking of spinach, what role do leafy greens play when paired with olive oil?
Leafy greens, like spinach, kale, and arugula, are loaded with carotenoids such as lutein and beta-carotene. These compounds act as internal sunscreens, shielding skin cells from damage. But here's the secret. They are fat-soluble, meaning they need olive oil for absorption. Without olive oil, most of those carotenoids simply pass through the body unused.
That's a game changer. So the difference between eating plain spinach and spinach with olive oil could be the difference between wasted nutrition and glowing skin.
Exactly. That's why I always tell patients, don't eat your salad dry. Dress it with olive oil. Every drop helps your body actually use the nutrients you worked so hard to put on your plate.
And it seems so doable. We're not asking seniors to reinvent their diet. We're showing them how to optimize what they already eat.
That's the beauty of this. Olive oil isn't a supplement. It's a partner. It makes other foods more powerful. And when combined with antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals from colorful produce and nuts, it creates a shield for the skin that no cream can match.
I love that image. A natural shield built from the inside. And I think it sets up the next part of our conversation perfectly. We've covered the best ways to pair olive oil with food. But what about lifestyle? Are there daily habits that either boost or block olive oil's ability to protect the skin?
Oh, yes. Habits make all the difference. And many seniors unknowingly sabotage their skin without realizing it. That's what we should uncover next.
So far, we've learned that olive oil is more than a kitchen staple. It's a true skin ally. But let's go a step further. What daily habits can either enhance or weaken its effect on seniors' skin?
That's a crucial question. Because olive oil can only do its best work if the body isn't under constant attack from poor habits. The first habit that boosts its power is hydration. Skin cells are like little sponges. They need water to stay plump. When you drink enough water and include olive oil, the oil helps seal that hydration inside the skin barrier. Without water, the oil can't perform its full function.
So water is the foundation, and olive oil locks it in?
Exactly. Think of it as teamwork. Seniors who drink 2 to 3 glasses of water with meals and then include olive oil in their diet see smoother, more hydrated skin. A study in the Clinical, Cosmetic, and Investigational Dermatology Journal found that participants who improved both hydration and dietary fats like olive oil had significantly higher skin elasticity than those who improved only one factor.
That's fascinating. And it sounds so simple. Drink water, eat olive oil. But what about habits that sabotage its effect?
One of the biggest saboteurs is smoking. The toxins in cigarettes destroy collagen and elastin at a rapid rate. Even with olive oil, the damage can outpace the repair. The skin ends up dry, leathery, and lined. It's like pouring water into a bucket full of holes.
That image really hits. You can nourish all you want, but if you're constantly breaking the skin down with smoke, the oil doesn't stand a chance.
Exactly. Another habit that blocks olive oil's power is chronic sun exposure without protection. While olive oil can shield cells from oxidative stress, it cannot replace sunscreen. Seniors often underestimate how even mild daily sun, like gardening or short walks, adds up over years. Olive oil enhances resilience, but pairing it with sun-safe habits is essential.
So olive oil and sunscreen are partners, not substitutes.
Correct. And then there's cooking method. Many seniors unknowingly burn olive oil by frying it at very high temperatures. This not only strips away its wrinkle-fighting compounds, but can create free radicals, the very molecules we're trying to fight. Using olive oil raw or for light sautéing is best.
That's such an important distinction. The same oil that heals in one form can harm if overheated.
Precisely. And here's another often overlooked factor: sleep. During deep sleep, the skin repairs itself. If a senior eats olive oil but cuts corners on sleep, the repair cycle is incomplete. Think of olive oil as delivering the building blocks, but sleep is the construction crew. Without both, the project stalls.
That's brilliant. Olive oil provides the materials, but rest allows the body to actually use them.
Yes. And seniors should also avoid one other trap: processed foods. These are often high in omega-6 fats that cause inflammation. When inflammation is high, the antioxidants in olive oil get spent fighting fires instead of protecting collagen.
So the key is giving olive oil a supportive environment. Hydrate well, protect from sun, avoid smoking and processed foods, and let the body rest. Then the oil shines.
Exactly. When seniors align these habits, olive oil becomes exponentially more effective. That's when they start noticing not just fewer wrinkles, but brighter skin tone, more energy, and even improved mood.
That's powerful. And it shifts the mindset from a single miracle oil to a lifestyle partnership. Olive oil thrives when your habits help it thrive.
Beautifully put. And that sets us up for the next step. Because now we've covered how olive oil works, how to use it, and which habits amplify it. But there's one more layer. How fast can seniors realistically expect results? And what kinds of changes will they actually notice first?
So let's get practical. If a senior starts today, drizzling olive oil on their salad, sipping it with warm lemon water, maybe even using a few drops on their skin, what kind of results should they realistically expect? And how soon?
That's a question I love because it brings hope, but also perspective. The first results usually appear within 2 to 4 weeks. Seniors often notice their skin feels less dry, less itchy, and holds moisture longer. This is because olive oil strengthens the skin's barrier, sealing water inside.
So the earliest win is hydration, skin that feels softer, not so flaky.
Exactly. Then, Between 6 to 8 weeks, you often begin to see changes in texture and brightness. Fine lines may appear softer, especially around the eyes and mouth. The skin tone becomes more even. A clinical study published in Dermato-Endocrinology found that regular olive oil consumption reduced photoaging, the kind of damage caused by sunlight, by nearly 30% in just 2 months.
That's impressive, and it makes sense. The antioxidants in olive oil are working daily to reduce the stress and inflammation that deepen lines.
Yes, and after 3 to 6 months of consistent use, the results become even more visible. Skin elasticity improves, meaning it bounces back more like it did in youth. Seniors often tell me their cheeks feel firmer, their jawline more defined. They may not look 20 years old, but they look healthier, fresher, and more alive.
That's what most people want. Not artificial perfection, but a natural vitality that reflects how they feel inside.
Correct. And here's the wonderful part. The benefits aren't limited to skin. Because olive oil reduces systemic inflammation, seniors often report less stiffness in the joints. Studies in the Annals of the Rheumatic Diseases show that olive oil consumption is linked with lower risk of rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. So smoother skin often comes hand in hand with easier movement.
That's fascinating. So it's not just vanity, it's function. It's not only about wrinkles, but about walking with less pain and feeling stronger.
Precisely. And there's more. Olive oil supports the gut lining, which improves digestion. Seniors who add olive oil daily often notice less bloating, steadier bowel movements, and better nutrient absorption. And when the gut is healthy, the skin glows.
That's such an important connection. People often forget the gut-skin axis. A calmer gut equals calmer skin.
Yes, and we must also mention brain health. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats that support memory and cognition. A study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience showed that older adults who consumed olive oil daily had slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who didn't. And when the brain feels sharper, the face reflects it. You see more alertness, brighter eyes, and expression.
That's beautiful. So the timeline is layered. First, hydration within weeks, then texture and tone in 2 months, elasticity and deeper repair after several months, and along the way, unexpected bonuses, better joints, digestion, and even memory.
Exactly. And it's important to remind seniors that these results come from consistency, not intensity. It's not about swallowing a whole cup of oil one day. It's about small daily use that adds up. A tablespoon a day, drizzled wisely, can transform the body quietly over time.
That feels empowering. No expensive treatments, no drastic steps. Just a simple habit with profound ripple effects.
Yes. And when seniors see those first small changes, the softer skin, the brighter eyes, it motivates them to keep going. And that's the secret. Longevity is built on small victories that compound.
Beautifully said. And I think this brings us to an important next step. We've covered the oil, the pairings, the habits, and now the results. But I want to ask about myths. What are the most common misconceptions about olive oil and skin that seniors should stop believing?
The myths. And there are many. That's where we should go next.
You mentioned myths, and I think that's critical. Because when it comes to skin and aging, there's so much misinformation. What are the biggest misconceptions about olive oil and skin?
The first myth is that olive oil clogs pores and causes breakouts. This isn't true for most seniors. In fact, Olive oil has anti-inflammatory compounds that calm irritation. The key is moderation. Just a few drops, not heavy layers.
That's interesting. So it's not about slathering it on, it's about using it wisely.
Exactly. Another myth is that only expensive skincare products can fight wrinkles. But research shows olive oil rivals and often outperforms costly creams because it penetrates deeper and brings antioxidants directly to the skin barrier.
That's empowering. Seniors don't need to feel pressured by marketing. They already have a powerful tool in their kitchen.
Yes. A third myth is that olive oil is only for the heart, not the skin. In reality, what helps the arteries, antioxidants and healthy fats, also helps collagen and elastin. The body doesn't separate them.
So the same oil that protects your heart also protects your face. That's a win-win.
Absolutely. And finally, some believe results are instant. That's dangerous thinking. Olive oil works gradually. It rebuilds. It nourishes. True change takes weeks and months.
That feels honest. Real results, not overnight miracles.
Yes. And once seniors understand that, they embrace olive oil as a lifestyle, not a fad. And that mindset keeps them committed long enough to see the transformation.
Doctor, after everything we've discussed, I can imagine seniors listening right now feeling hopeful, but maybe asking themselves, is it too late for me? My skin already shows deep lines. Can olive oil still make a difference?
That's a powerful question. And the answer is no. It's never too late. The skin is a living organ. It responds at any age. Even seniors in their 70s, 80s, and 90s can see improvements when they nourish the skin from within. Wrinkles may not vanish completely, but the skin becomes stronger, more resilient, and more radiant.
That's encouraging. So the focus shifts from chasing perfection to celebrating progress.
Exactly. Longevity is not about erasing the past, but building strength in the present. Olive oil does that. It gives the body the raw materials to heal, to restore, and to glow again.
And that's what I love about this conversation. It's not about quick fixes. It's about dignity, confidence, and enjoying the reflection you see in the mirror.
Yes, and beyond the mirror, it's about the ripple effects. Less inflammation, better digestion, improved circulation, even sharper thinking. When seniors commit to this one habit, they're not just softening wrinkles, they're strengthening their entire future.
That's beautifully said, and it sets us up perfectly to leave our listeners with something unforgettable. So in our closing, let's offer them a vision, not of fear, but of possibility.
Yes, because aging with grace is not a dream. It's a choice, and olive oil is one of the simplest, most powerful choices you can make.
Doctor, you've given us so much today, from the science of olive oil to the habits that make it thrive, to the realistic results seniors can expect. But before we close, I want to leave our listeners with something deeper. Because skin is more than appearance, it's a reflection of how we've lived.
Yes, every line carries a story. The laughter we've shared, the challenges we've faced, the nights we stayed up worrying, and the mornings we rose again. Wrinkles are not enemies. They are history written on the skin. But olive oil shows us that history doesn't have to end in decline. It can continue with vitality, strength, and grace.
That's powerful. It means seniors don't need to surrender to the mirror. They can nourish the body so that the story written on their face is one of resilience, not regret.
Exactly. And here's the thought I want everyone to carry. When you take that spoon of olive oil, you're not just feeding your body, you're telling your skin, your joints, your heart, and your brain, I still choose life. I still choose growth. That simple act is a declaration.
Beautiful. And it makes me think, aging doesn't steal our youth. It asks us to redefine it. Maybe youthful skin isn't about chasing the face we had at 30. Maybe it's about cultivating the glow that comes from nourishment, from health, from living fully in the present.
Yes. And the question becomes, how will you write the next chapter? Will you let your skin be a record of decline? Or will you let it become proof of the care you gave yourself today?
That's the cliffhanger, isn't it? Every wrinkle can either deepen into fragility or soften into wisdom. And the choice rests in something as simple as what you drizzle on your dinner tonight.
Exactly. Because sometimes the smallest habits, the oils, the foods, the moments of care, end up shaping the biggest differences in how we live and how we age.
And that's the legacy of olive oil. Not a miracle, not a fad, but a quiet ally waiting in the kitchen. The question is, will you use it?